What's up everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am the Marketing Nomad and my name is Prit. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my secret to overcoming your fears. So I think that today's video is going to be pretty short because I just have one secret and one secret to share with you. It's a pretty easy secret for you to implement as well for your life. So I don't think that this video is going to go way too long, but at the same time, I know that it's going to be extremely valuable if you are someone who is looking to take your first step for something and you kind of have your fears plaguing you, or you just in general want to know my secret of overcoming fears. Alright, so I definitely have been asked this question a lot all throughout my life, okay? It's not just right now that people have been asking me how do I overcome my fears. So looking back at my life and the decisions that I have made, I understand where people are coming from when they say that they think or they believe that I do not have any fears. However, they could not be further from the truth. I actually do have my own fears. Yes, when I first started my business, I was scared. Yes, when I wanted to show up on my Instagram stories for the first time, I did have my fears. When I wanted to shoot my first YouTube video, I did have my fears as well. But this is where I think that for the most part of my life, I have always followed this one rule or this one secret, I guess I would say. And that is, regardless of what my fear was, if it was something that I had to do or if it was something that I wanted to do, I would make sure that my courage was more than my fear. Okay? And I know a lot of people think that having courage means having no fear. I personally do not believe in that at all. I think that courage is actually when you move forward despite your fear or in spite of your fear. Okay, so you have your fear over here, okay? It's not that it's gone anywhere. There is still that fear. However, your courage or your determination to push forward, to move forward, has to be more than your fear for you to be able to do the right thing. Now, one of the things that I see most people doing, and this is why I think it is so hard for them, is that instead of focusing on increasing their courage to overcome their fear, they try to diminish or vanquish their fear. And that is something that I personally don't think I have ever done. I have never focused on my fear and focused on it and made sure that I vanquished it. My fears are still there. They're very much present. However, I work on building my courage more, or my determination to be more than my fear, and that's how I'm able to push forward. Okay, so I never say that I did not fear hopping on my stories or hopping on my YouTube channel or starting a podcast. I would never say that, because yes, there were fears, there are fears even to this day. However, my determination to push forward, my courage to keep moving forward, to keep moving past that fear, is what has made me do all the things that I have done so far. Okay, whether it is setting up my business or setting up my Etsy shop or hopping on my Instagram stories, posting on Instagram Reels, the kind of content that I like to make, all of those things, it's not that there wasn't any fear. I really want to put that point across, and that is my secret. I personally feel that when you focus on your fear and you try to reduce it, it's hard. It's actually really hard because you don't know where that fear is coming from. There's a lot of unknown factors even in the task that you are doing. So it is natural for you to have that fear. It's a very natural body response. Your mind is responding to the action that you are planning to take, and it's basically there to protect you. That fear, a good amount of fear, is there to protect you. And when you diminish that, it's a natural body, a natural body response. So it's going to be harder for you to diminish that. What you can do instead is basically focus on your determination to make things happen. Focus on your courage. Make that more than your fear. And guys, this is my secret. Okay, if you were to ask me, all right, Prit, when you started your YouTube channel, were you afraid? I would be like, yeah, definitely. Hell yes, I was so afraid. However, my determination to push past my fear was what I worked on. I kept working on that determination, kept raising it higher and higher till one day it was actually more than my fear, and then I was able to move forward with the step, whatever that step may have been. Okay, now the second secret, I guess I would say, is that I actually trust myself to handle the outcome of whatever decision I am making. Okay, I have immense trust in myself, and of course that has come because time and again previously, all through my life, I have proved to myself that I have handled the worst of the worst situations, or I have been through hell and back, and yet I survived, or I made peace with it, or I found ways to overcome various different problems. Okay, so that faith and that trust in myself has come from, I guess, years and years of proving to myself again and again that I can handle whatever the outcome of my decision is going to be. So yes, there is fear, okay? Even when I started my YouTube channel, or I started posting on Instagram, or I started my business, yes, there was fear. But on the other hand, I think that I just implicitly trusted myself to handle whatever the outcome would be, whether it was a positive outcome or a negative outcome. And I think that these two secrets of mine have been why how I function, basically, how I'm able to do the things that I do. People look at me, they see how confident I am, but it's not always the case. I may be confident, but I do have my fears. I may, go ahead and do it, but there are fears as well. And that's one more misconception. People misunderstand self-confidence for lack of fear. It's not. It's moving past that fear. It's to keep that fear right over there, but it's moving past it, ensuring that your self-confidence, your trust in yourself, your determination, your courage, all of those things exceed that fear that you have. Okay, and in a lot of ways, I guess over time that fear has kind of washed away on its own. It's not something that I have actively worked on to remove it, because when one YouTube video does well, or the second YouTube video does well, or time and again I keep proving to myself that, hey, none of my fears are actually coming true. Slowly, the fears actually wash away by themselves. Okay, but if you were to sit and focus in on the fears, trying to reduce them, trying to diminish them, it's really hard, because I think that the fear doesn't really go away until you can prove it to yourself. And how do you prove it to yourself? By actually doing whatever it is that you are fearful of the consequences. All right, so yeah, that actually brings me closer to the end of this video. I know that it was a pretty short one, but this is definitely a question that has been asked all my life. People, they look at me and then they say, Prit, how do you not have any fear? I mean, when people first started asking me this question, I did not have an answer. I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then in my head, I was like, but I am afraid, like I was afraid, right, when I started out. And then after thinking about it and pondering about why I made that decision, these were the two things that really came out and made me realize that this is how I make the decision to move forward, to move past my fear. All right, so if anyone tells you, oh, you should overcome your fear, honestly, you have to tell them that it's not about overcoming your fear. It's making sure that your trust in yourself, your confidence, your courage, your strength, all of those things exceed the fear that you have. And of course, over time, because you are doing the tasks that you have to do, and none of your fears are actually being realized, your fears will automatically wash away. It isn't something that you would have to consciously work on. And I think that's the simplest route, to doing the things that you want to do and living the kind of life that you want to live regardless of whether you have your fears stopping you, okay? So yeah, these are my secrets to how I lead my life, how I make my decisions, how I move forward despite the fear or in spite of the fear as well. All right, I really hope this video helped you. If it did, if you are watching all the way up until here, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell, because that tells you every single time I do upload a video. I will catch you guys in my next video.